Well, I'm really excited to be here. Yeah, I'm Amanda Peters, an instructional technology coach for Intermediate School District 917 in Minnesota. I've worked in the field of special education for over 25 years now. You stop counting after that mile marker. I've been a special ed teacher, an assistive technology coordinator, a professional development provider, and now an instructional technology coach. But what I love about my current role is the students, first and foremost, right? They are why we do what we do. But another part I love is over the last few years, a big part of my role has been exploring what AI can do for us in the field of special education. Um, and this is important because no matter what your role is in special education, you're always short on time, right? And you're short on time
Mhm.
because you have all these things going on. You have professional development, you're creating social stories and visual schedules and writing progress reports and writing IEPs and doing evaluations and incident reports and differentiating curriculum. And it goes on, right? First thing is you're always short on time. And the second thing is you're constantly creating or modifying materials for students. And sometimes that is differentiating curriculum. And sometimes we're creating all that support material to help students regulate their feelings and gain the social emotional skills that they need. So we're spending all this time creating materials for our students. But in the end, if students aren't engaged in those materials you've created or modified, and not just engaged with the lesson materials, which is important, but also engaged with the visuals that we create, the ones to support their ability to cope with the things that make school hard for them, they still aren't going to learn, right? If they're not engaged with those things. So what we know in special education that one strategy to help engage students in the content we're teaching is to make it personal, make it relevant, but make it personal. So even though we're short in time, we understand the value of personalizing visuals. And luckily, now there's some AI tools that can take a big chunk of that time burden away. In my district, we're lucky enough to be piloting Nookly, and staff in lots of different roles are using it to create materials. We have social workers using it. We have school counselors using it. We, of course, have teachers using it. And we're using it a lot to create social stories. And one kind of unique spin that we've put on social stories is using Nookly's song feature now in order to encourage students to use their communication device. And I'll just show you a few of the things in Nookly that I've been talking about because I think it's so powerful what we've found. If we want to create a social story, we can do it featuring a student. And what's so great, so I always like one of the ones I use all the time is having a substitute teacher, right? Because this is something
Mhm.
that can be hard for kids. And so if I just click go, now I can choose from one of my current learners in here that look like the students I'm working with. But if you're doing your very first one, you can start with a photo, which is really great. You upload it, then a character looks just like the student. But here, if I click on enter child details, I don't need a photo. I can just enter their name, their gender, their ethnicity, their age, hair color, all of that. But here's the real powerful part, because this is the part we're often missing, is that we have this accessories thing here. And so, yep, there's eyeglasses, headwear, mobility cane, hearing aid, wheelchair, prosthetic arm, prosthetic leg, braces, or using an AAC device. And you can select as many of these things that apply to the student. So we can really customize it and make it look more like that student. So they feel seen and they feel heard. And it normalizes some of those things too that they might not feel is normal about them, right? But it's really cool. You can kind of see the details here. Then we just go through tailoring the details and editing the draft language. What I love, the other thing I love is that Once Nookly creates the script, you get to edit it, and you get to edit it before all these beautiful visuals are created. So that if it's not just what you want, you can change it and make it just exactly what you want. And you do that before those visuals are created, so the visuals match what you've created in your script. So that is really cool, and I can just show you one more example here. I won't play it out loud, but I do have. This was just an example too of a social story, not in song form, just so that you can kind of see the beautiful visuals that this creates. And this will read out loud to the student, and then you can share it with whoever also works with the student. So you're sharing the same materials, but you can see how simply beautiful it is. And if you you can further customize it by, if you have a student who needs more high contrast, the backgrounds are too much for them, you can take the backgrounds away. So really just the customization is just endless. It's really has been a great tool for us.